Let's take our if function to a whole nother level. During this video, we're going to be taking a look at utilizing nested functions. Essentially, we're going to take an Excel function and place it inside of another function, essentially getting functions to do more for us with the help of other functions. Now, to help explain this, I'm going to set up the scenario here. What is it that we're trying to do? And then we'll take a look at how you nest functions inside of Excel. Now, open in front of you, I've still got the example file, same one we've been working on. We're on the if function worksheet of the Excel 103 advanced exercises file. Now, inside of here, we have a column for bonus status. We just got done doing the goal. Was the goal met? Right? We used an if. And just to remind you, here's our if. If we had a test, and we had a true, and we had a false, right? That's your standard if. Now, I love ifs. I use them all the time, okay? It's great. You specify a test, a condition, you tell it what it should be looking for, and then tell Excel what to do if it's true and what to do if that test is false. Now, what if you have a scenario where you have multiple tests? I need to perform this test and this test and this test, and they all have to be true in order for, in this case, the salesperson to get the true part of the if. If one of those tests is incorrect, did not pass the test, then they get a false. So there's multiple conditions, multiple tests that I want to run. Well, with an if function, default, you can only specify one test. That's it. And we just did that. Right here inside was the goal met column, we specified the test. We said if F5 is greater than or equal to goal, to I2. One test. Well, in the bonus status, they have to do a couple things. In order for each salesperson to reach the bonus status, they had to, one, they had to have met the goal. That's one test. Then each week, they had to have made $8,000 or more. Get the goal, and each week, $8,000 or more. So now we got the goal, and we got 4 weeks. We have potentially 5 tests that we want to run to find out if they met the bonus. Now, I'm actually going to trim it down to 2, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But it's really 5 tests. We're going to display it as 2. In either case, it's more than one, so we can't just use the if function all by itself. So now we're going to bring in another function called the and function. That's going to do a little bit of work for us. It's going to test each condition, and then it'll return the results from each condition to the if, whether all those conditions were true or one of them was false, and then the if can do the rest of the work for us. Now, before we do the nesting, let's take a quick peek at the and function. So I'm just going to drop down to an empty spot on my worksheet, and I'm just going to type this in. I'm going to say equals and I'm going to open up a parentheses. Now, just to make it a little bit cleaner and to give us a little bit more information, I'm then going to go hit the little FX button. This will open up the argument window so I can see the and arguments. So here's the and. It checks whether all the arguments are true. These are the arguments. Right now, they've got 2 in there, but you can have up to 255 of them. Checks whether all arguments are true. If so, it returns true. If all arguments are true. That was a lot of trues in there, right? Checks whether all arguments are true and returns true if all arguments are true. That means we have those 5 tests, right? First test, was the goal met? Yes, they made it. Now each week, is each week more than $8,000? Yes, 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 yes. This first person, H. James, passed the test. So the and would return true. For the next person, K. Dunn. Did K. Dunn make the goal? Oh, no. K. Dunn didn't make it, right? So right away, the and says, sorry, you didn't make it. So it returns false back to the and function. It'll return false. Now let's take a look at another one here. Let's look at D. O'Brien. All right, first test for D. O'Brien. D. O'Brien passed the test. Did D. O'Brien meet the goal? Yes. Great. Logical test done. Made it. But each week is not greater than or equal to 8,000. So D. O'Brien would ultimately fail with the 5 tests that we're going to use. So let's try this out. Let's put it in an actual action here. If there's a part that's missing, because this is going to get a little more complex because we're now nesting functions, then rewind the video, take a look at it again, right? You've got lifetime access to these videos, so take advantage of that. So here's my first one for K-Done, or excuse me, for H. James. So I want to know if this equals yes. Okay? That's my first test. For logical 2, I want to know if each week here is greater than or equal to 8,000. So I could do this. I can go here, that's B5. I want to know if that is greater than or equal to 8,000. Then I'm going to go to the next one. Is this greater than or equal to 8,000? And so on. I'm going to do this for each week here. And one more. Greater than or equal to 8,000. All right, so this is for H. James. And we can see here that each of the tests are true, so it returns a true. I hit OK, and there's my true. Now, I'm going to try this one more time, but I'm going to do it slightly different. Because what if I had 52 weeks of data? I don't want to have to go to each and every single little week and check to see if it's more than 8,000. So now I'm going to bring another function in to help me out. Here's the nesting. I'm going to say equals and open parentheses. My first test, I want to know if that is equal to yes. And I'm putting yes inside of double quotes, comma. Now if I hit the FX button here just to open up that window so we can see it a little bit cleaner, I'm going to go to logical 2. This time, rather than each individual week, I'm going to bring in the min function. Remember the min function way earlier in this course? I'm going to bring in min. I'm going to open up a parentheses. And the min function just wants to know the range of cells to find the minimum value from. So I'm going to go grab this range of cells here, B5 to E5. I'm going to close the parentheses. And I want to know if the minimum result of that range of cells, B5 to E5, is greater than or equal to 8,000. So now I don't have to spell out each and every single little week, right? What if you had 52 weeks, 100 weeks, right? This is so much faster. Find the minimum value from that range and compare it against the 8,000. I hit OK. I'm going to get the same results, but it's a much cleaner, a much more efficient formula, because I've nested a function within. All right, now once again, a lot of moving pieces inside there. Nail down the concept, right? Get an understanding of what is the and first, and then this concept of nesting, taking a function and placing it within another function to get it to do more for you. Now, we're not done here, but try this out. Just get a feel for it, make sure it works for you. Pause, rewind the video, whatever you need to do. And then the next one, we'll see it inside the bonus status, and we're going to do this nesting inside the if.